Well, this is not awkward or strange at all.
Are you just filming this?
Triple vlogception.
Love it. We've got mics, but to be honest, it's quite a small room and we've lost a few, so I don't think it's going to be too difficult. But I'm just going to quickly introduce the people who really like and they are We've got Olivia Savannah from Olivia's Catastrophe, who is an absolute hero, works in the industry, Becca, and my goddess, and her packaging's really cute. She sent me a book.
Yeah, we've just got Gavin.
To be honest, if you can't hear Gavin,
I like your dog.
hello, how did he down? I don't know. Is it left? No, don't cancel. Okay. Right, and then before he shuts the doors and goes away.
Remember to share with your friends if you are satisfied with my service.
I'm officially back home from Newcastle now, so it's time to go through exactly what I bought. This is a considerably smaller haul than it was for Yauk, which is fantastic, but I'm still going to start with the books, then go through the more fandomy stuff, because that makes the most sense. First thing I have is Pages & Co. Tilly and the Map of Stories by Anna James. This is the third one in the Pages & Co. series, which is all about Tilly, who is a book wanderer, which means she can read people out of books and read herself into books. I really enjoyed the first two. I've been meaning to get hold of this one for a while, so when I saw it in Forbidden Planet, I picked it up. Then I also got the Sherlock Scandal in Belgravia manga. This specifically is the BBC Sherlock TV show, and they are converting each episode into a manga. I've been looking for this for literal years, because for some reason they split this into two parts. I have no idea why, because the first three were all in one singular volume, but for Scandal in Belgravia, for some reason, they split it into two, and I could only ever find the first half, and I was like, I'm not buying it without the second half because that just seems stupid. So when I saw this as a box set, I was like, right, well, I'm definitely picking this up because I have no idea when the next time I will ever find this is. So I took the opportunity, and this is literally, like I said, the Sherlock manga. I really enjoyed the show Sherlock. It's one of my favourites of all time. This is the kind of like artwork we have on the outside of it. I can't show you what's inside because obviously I haven't taken out the plastic yet, but I love this series so much. I love the mangas so much. So like I said, I saw it and immediately put it in my basket. It was an absolute no-brainer for me for this one specifically. Then I also got the single issue of Werewolf by Night by Derek Landy. This is Derek Landy's latest Marvel comic, and it is following Elsa Bloodstone and Werewolf by Night, who you will have seen in the Werewolf by Night TV show. I absolutely adore these characters. I adore Derek Landy. I will literally buy anything that man writes. So when I saw that he was doing a spooky Werewolf by Night thing, I had to pick it up. I have not read this yet, but I'm very excited to. I do not know anything about what's going to happen in here. I literally just saw Derek Landy Marvel comic and then Elsa Bloodstone, and I was absolutely in for it. So cannot wait to read this one as well. I then also picked up the House of Slaughter, The Butcher's Return. This one is the third one in the House of Slaughter series, which is a spin-off from the Something's Killing the Children series, which is all about monster hunters. This one specifically is following Aaron, who was Erica Slaughter, our main character from Something is Killing the Children, and it's his story and this kind of thing of following what happens in the House of Slaughter, where they're trained up to be these monster hunters, this kind of thing. I only though realised, because there is a slight problem with this, is that this is the third volume. I have the first one. I do not have the second one. I did not realise until I got home, and then I went, ah, I don't have that one. But never mind, it now means that whenever I do get the second one, I then have this one to immediately read afterwards. So I'm not too bothered. I know I really enjoyed this series. So even though this is the third volume, to be honest, it literally says 3 right here. I should have paid attention to that, but I just got excited because I saw like the next one in the series that I didn't own. Then because I was in Forbidden Planet buying the House of Slaughter, the guy on the till said that I should really check out World Tree as well, which is another one by the same author, and this one is a very sort of spooky horror-y, thrillery type thing, but to do with the internet and a thing called the Undernet. And that's all I really know, that's all I really want to know. I just know that it comes quite highly rated from various people, including the guy who wrote Saga and Paper Girls, Brian K. Vaughan, Kieran Gillen, who does The Wicked and the Divine, all of this kind of thing, and also Robert Kirkman, who does Invincible and The Walking Dead. So he said it was really, really good as well, and I do really like James Tynion IV's work, so I decided to also pick this one up because he quite frankly sold me on it. Then I also picked up Where Monsters Lie. This one is by Kyle Starks, and this is what happens to various slasher monsters and what they do when they are not active. It turns out that they are in Wilmhurst, a gated community in the middle of nowhere where they relax or try to until they get the call to go out again. And then we are also following Connor, who survived his first slasher in summer camp, and a handful of years later he barely escaped a psychopath who built torture puzzles for his victims. Since then he's been training and planning for running into these creatures again. He's a respected special agent, and now he knows where the monsters lie, and he's planning for war. And that just sounds really interesting. I'm very much in my slasher era right now. I'm loving slashers and like slasher movies and all of this kind of thing, and this sounded like a really interesting take on the slasher genre essentially, and I've been waiting for this to come out in a bind up format for months now. So when I saw this one I was like, right, it's definitely coming home with me because I've got no idea when the next time I will see this is, and it also means that I will not be getting it on Amazon, which is always also a good thing. Then I also picked up Alice Ever After, and this is set a few years after the original Alice in Wonderland. Alice is now an adult and she is desperate to get back to Wonderland, but it's taking something more than mushrooms to get her back there. She ends up deciding to commit herself to the Sacred Heart Hospital for the unwell, and she thinks that she's solved her problem. She's got pills whenever she needs them to go back to Wonderland, but there is something more sinister going on, and there's something happening in like the basement of this place, and Alice will need to choose whether she wants to escape her family and childhood trauma forever and stay in Wonderland, or if she wants to find the courage to face her demons in the real world. This sounded really, really interesting. I'm not usually here for Alice in Wonderland, especially like even retellings generally, but I do like a dark and twisted take on these things, so I really wanted to give it a go. It's been on my wish list for a really long time. I saw it finally like on the shelf, so I picked it up. The lighting seems to be going at the moment, so I apologise right now for that, but we are in winter, it happens. But then the final book I managed to get was the Tiffany Aching Guide to Being a Witch. This one came in a slipcase, and the actual hardcover looks like this. This is by Rhianna Pratchett and Gabrielle Kent, and this is done by obviously Terry Pratchett's daughter, and it is literally a guide to being a witch in the Discworld, and I love that concept. I really, really wanted to pick this up as soon as it was announced because I mean it is literally a brand new Discworld book set within the Discworld, this kind of thing. I never thought I'd be able to buy a book as it came out about the Discworld and actually written by a Pratchett, so that was really, really exciting. I don't know if you can see, but the kind of like the edges are a little bit sort of sprayed and shiny, and then the inside of it also is literally just a guide to being a witch, which I just think is really, really cool. I really, really love this concept. I cannot wait to read this one. Tiffany Aching is not my absolute favourite of the Discworld like characters, but I still really, really enjoy her stuff, and I'm just really excited to read a guide set within the world, essentially. Then as for what else I got, first of all, I got a Bruno Funko, and I don't know if you can see that, but he was reduced to $2.99, and I was like, this is incredible, I have to pick him up, but because he's $2.99, he was down from $9.99, and I was like, you can't go wrong with a pop for £3, especially when it's someone like Bruno. If you do not know who he is Kamala Khan's best friend in the Miss Marvel TV show. I absolutely adored him. He was one of the pops I really, really wanted to get, but never did, but now I have a little Bruno in his little lab coat holding on to Kamala's gloves, which I thought was really cool, and he was literally £3, which was just an absolute bargain. I could not believe it when I saw him. I then also picked up The Watcher because, as you can see here, he was £6, and this one is actually a 2021 full convention limited edition, so to have him for £6 was absolutely incredible. If I wanted to get him anywhere else, at this point he probably would have been about £20 or £30, but in a shop called Be More Geek he was only £6, so I was like, well, I've got to have this, especially with like the new like series of What If coming, and generally because I love The Watcher as a character, so I picked him up as well. I then also managed to pick up Spider-Woman for £5.99. I'm going to stop doing that because for some reason it's making my camera sort of go all blurry, but anyway, this was Spider-Woman from Across the Spider-Verse, and this is my first Spider-Verse pop, so I still need to get like Miles, Gwen, also Spider-Man India and people like this, and I'm really excited about it because I do love Across the Spider-Verse and the Spider-Verse movies, this kind of thing. And like I said, she was £5.99 in Forbidden Planet. I have no idea why she was so cheap, but I wasn't exactly going to say no because A, I do not have any Spider-Verse pops, and B, she was like half the price of a usual pop as well, so I was very excited to find her. Then when we were in HMV, I also picked up the Barbie movie because I love the Barbie movie. I absolutely adored it. I saw it twice in the cinema. I had a great time watching it both times, and I just really wanted to get my hands on the DVD so I could watch it whenever I liked. And even though we did not have a DVD player or anything else in the hotel room we were staying in, I now have access to my DVD player, so I can now watch this whenever I want while I'm at home, which is just very exciting because I just really enjoyed this movie. I then also managed to pick up the Good Omens tarot deck because I've had this on pre-order for a very painfully long time. Like ever since it was announced, I've had it on pre-order, but then my pre-order date kept on changing, and I mean it literally changed about like 5 or 6 times. It was I think like the last update I got, like it was going to be coming out in like January or something, and then it was right in Forbidden Planet right in front of me, and I was like, well, why am I waiting and trying to get it off like Amazon when I could get it off Forbidden Planet, which is A, not a lot nicer of a company, and B, it means I don't have to wait that much longer. And being a massive Good Omens fan, I really wanted to get this because I'm really interested in all of the artwork. I don't know if you can see that, but that's some of the artwork on the back here. I don't really know much about tarot, but I'm really excited to learn about it some more, and like learn about it through the way of Good Omens, essentially, because what better way to learn than through one of my favourite books and TV series. And then the other thing I picked up was the Good Omens card game, because I mean, I wasn't going to, and then I was like, but it's the Good Omens card game, and I'm pretty sure the Good Omens Kickstarter, which I've backed, is coming with some extra cards for this game, and I've never seen this game like anywhere before, and I was like, well, I may as well get to know the game, so then when I get the cards I'll know what to do with them. And this is all about having to try and stop the apocalypse, and it consists of 7 different battle games, each with rules that you can learn as you play. All battles are cooperative, you win or lose as a team, face off against the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, then the forces of heaven and hell, and finally battle Satan to prevent Armageddon. And I'm just here for this. It's Good Omens. I'm not usually a card game kind of person, but I was really intrigued by this one, so when I saw it in Travelling Man, I picked it up. So that is the end of this Newcastle vlog and also haul. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do give me a thumbs up. Comment down below, tell me what book you would turn into a card game. I would love to know. Or if you don't have that much time, leave me a pink emoji down below to let me know that you were here. I'll also leave a link as well down below to all of my social media if you want to check it out, including to the Comic Book Sanctum, which is my website dedicated to Marvel Comics, which is filled with stuff about The Watcher, Spider-Woman, all of that kind of stuff will be all linked down below so you can check it out, as well as the link down below to everybody you saw in this video as well if you want to check out their channels, which I highly recommend you do because they are all awesome people you should all go check out. And if you want to see any more of my videos, please click subscribe here, and over here will be the link to my previous video. But till next time everyone, bye!